listen to this report from Tim Bontemps on Donovan Mitchell's situation in Cleveland via the Hoops Collective podcast. The quote goes, "I don't think there's any chance he signs an extension there." When I was at the NBA Summer League and talking to, staffers, coaches and stuff, I asked a few of them. I was like, who, perpetuates the narratives and ideals? I got from one guy, he's like, I've been working in the league for 7 years. I still don't know who gives out the information. And he turned to me and he goes, though it's business. It's business. He's like, basketball's entertainment. The NBA is in the entertainment business. And I turned to him and I was like, so you're telling me that's really just a male soap opera? And he's like, exactly. It's just reality TV. And that's the thing. They just traded for Donovan Mitchell last year. They're not going to trade him. They would trade Jared Allen and Darius Garland before you trade Donovan Mitchell, a guy who was arguably a top 5 MVP candidate this season, depending on who you had in your top 5, with the first 3 being Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. So, for me, when I look at this, I think, I don't think Donovan Mitchell's being traded. Again, JB Bickerstaff and, the front office ran by now, obviously, Kobe Altman. And I personally don't. You gave up all these assets to get Donovan Mitchell. If you're worried about that, the cupboard's kind of thin now because we traded for Donovan Mitchell. All right, let's trade Allen. All right, let's go get what we can for Darius Garland. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. But they've made it clear that they want to keep this core together. And I agree. I would keep this core together. I would not get rid of it because it doesn't make sense to. This team has had one season, okay? So my thoughts is when you hear shit like this isn't the Cleveland Cavaliers saying that, this is other people, okay? And I think Donovan Mitchell stays, man. All right? But obviously we got to title this video, Donovan Mitchell may not sign an extension or something like that. But I personally think he does. You don't pass up that money. And if he does want to leave, he signs the Supermax with them and then demands a trade because they'll pay him more than anybody else can. So you at least still get him for at least 2-3 more years. I'm just saying, if this rumor is real, I don't think it is. I think there's a greater chance that you trade. Look, you just also got Jetty Osman and Georges Niang, 2 guys that are going to be like 3-point shooters that are going to help space the floor. You re-sign Karis LeVert. Again, I think there's a greater chance they trade Jared Allen or Darius Garland before they would trade Donovan Mitchell. I think Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell are your 2 foundational corner pieces, with Garland and Allen being complementary pieces that are arguably expendable. As you could say, well, if you tell me I can trade Darius Garland for this is in a vacuum or hypothetical situation. You trade Darius Garland and you get, assets or players. And let's say the players you get back are either through cap space and you sign them in free agency or via trade. And you replace right now Darius Garland with Tyus Jones and, I'm trying to think of because I feel like Derek White's not going to be cheap. And I don't think Gary Payton's good enough, and I don't want to say DeLon Wright, but Tyus Jones and a defensive minded Caruso. Okay, you replace Darius Garland with Tyus Jones and Alex Caruso, which would probably cost you, if Darius is making 30 right now, those 2 guys combined would probably cost you $20 million, $25 million a year combined. So if you were under the argument, well, if we got 2 guys like that, and we trade Garland and got assets back, we would get similar, if not better, production out of those two guys than there. Like that I understand. But the way the roster's constructed right now, I don't think they're trading anyone.